It is interesting listening to people, isn't it? I think I'm more interested in understanding why they say what they say, feel what they feel, are stuck where they're stuck. I think for my own learning and expansion, right? Because, I too have my own issues. But there's this one reader that I listen to, and I've heard her say it. I mean, seriously, I was going to say a million times, but I haven't watched her that much. But often, not every time, but very often she talks about she has a very different viewpoint, I guess we'll say it that way, than I do on forgiveness and victims. And she goes into this whole spiel every time. She's very lovely, and I think she's I think highly of her intelligence, right? I don't, and yet I find it fascinating that she, in my opinion, she's stuck here where she consistently talks about, I don't believe that the victim needs to forgive. And she goes on and on and on about this. And so every time I hear her stubbornness and upsetness, because she does get heated with it, like she needs to defend and stand up for the invisible characters in her story, I always think, so was she the victim, or did she stand by and not stand up for somebody? And so now she feels like she needs to overcompensate, because that's what people end up doing, right? We end up acting out of our own wounds and fears and stating what we state based on the unhealed portion of us. But we can't see it, right? This is why others can help us, reflect back our own stuff. That's why relationships can be so beneficial if you're both in it to win it, meaning win yourself, love yourself. And then you can love the other. And so I'm always fascinated by her rhetoric on it, because I totally disagree with her, because I don't believe it's serving you. When you live in unforgiveness, it is drinking the poison yourself and staring at the other person, hoping and wishing they die. And it's like, well, good luck with that. And it won't last long. Don't worry, you're about to pass out or die yourself because you just drank the poison, right? The longer you sit in that poison pool of unforgiveness, the quicker you're dying, right? And that's not your goal, yet you can't get out of your own way because you're looking outside your eyes, doing the thing you're doing, thinking it's happening to the thing you're looking at, when it's not, it's happening to you. And so ultimately, what does that boil down to? Say it with me. You're not loving yourself. You're not loving yourself enough to forgive essentially yourself. You just haven't even gotten to that point. She's not even close to that point. She's stuck on, she's not capable of forgiving that outside herself to get to herself. She's still focused on that outside herself and the need to somehow protect or save or heal, which is interesting because she also talks about not believing in martyrdom, and yet she participates in it by doing that. And then, wonders why. We're all doing this to some degree or another. I find it curious. That's all. I find it fascinating as humans, how and why we behave and do what we do and don't recognize what we do. It's almost like we're well aware that we're all the same and part of, and we see that outside ourselves, of which is us, and we hate that part of us. So we refuse to let it in. But the sooner you let it in and love it and forgive it, then you can love and forgive yourself. And then all is well. But we resist that and hold ourselves in pain and sit in that toxic pool. And just imagine what we're seeing is going to somehow be affected by what we're doing to ourselves. And I guess with my same theory or logic that we all are one, we are doing it to ourselves when we do it to another. This is why you want to do to others as you want done to you. Yet again, oftentimes people, it's almost like forget that or see it backwards. And so saying it backwards sometimes can help. Do not do unto others that of which you do not want done to yourself, because that's what's happening. Right? So when she sits in that toxic pool of unforgiveness, drinking that poison of being stubborn and unwilling to forgive, wishing that upon another, it's happening to her. But she's totally disillusioned to that simple fact, totally unawakened and unaware of that reality, totally oblivious and dead asleep to it. And I do believe many people are. I believe many people are. They can't hear it or see it that way. And essentially it boils down to they're not loving themselves and they're not forgiving themselves, of which then they cannot love and forgive those outside themselves. Very fascinating. It's like how simple we are and how complex we are and how very simple we are. We are such bird brains. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.